Hello, my friends and enemies. Glad you are here. Um, I know I haven't really done much in terms of the Witcher content or the Henry Cavill relations with Netflix and stuff. Um, but I felt like it's probably time to do it when I found an actual semi-decent actual article that actually says some pretty cool stuff. Now, disclaimer, it's not the type of article you'd expect from like a news source being completely unbiased or whatever. It's very much biased, but actually in a good way. But I want to make that up front just so you're not being like, oh well, it's supporting Netflix or it's supporting this blah blah. It's somebody who wrote something as a member of the fandom, and I'm not familiar with this particular site, but we'll go ahead and pull it up. This is Fandom Wire. Just as Henry Cavill feared, The Witcher boss confirmed season 3 features anti source material content. It's super cool. It's really not, but that's how Lauren Hissrich thinks. And so we learn a little bit about what's going on, although we kind of already knew this. This isn't terribly big news, I guess. We knew that there was a bit of tension between Lauren Hissrich and Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill just being super stoked, super pumped about the role, and totally was just badgering his agents like, "Hey, get me on, get me on, get me on," which it worked. It did actually get him on. So, um, much to his dismay later on. But we're about to learn, and I love the wording for this article. Like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, here's another round of why Henry Cavill leaving The Witcher was indeed a good decision, and Netflix lost. It's like, yeah, it's another round. I mean, that's the only round there's really been, except for the horribly slanderous type of comments from previous things. But um, Henry Cavill was approached by Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, to make a cameo as Superman in Black Adam, and he left the franchise an instant. At least that's what we thought was all about, is because, hey, I'll go play Superman instead. It wasn't necessarily instead, it was actually also, like, as in including. Um, because he was technically Superman when he became Geralt, and he's technically both simultaneously. He just wasn't working both of those jobs simultaneously because there hasn't been a Superman movie in a while. Not since the Justice League, I don't think. And he does a fantastic job, quite honestly. He's the best role or best fit for the role of Superman. An actual good Superman uh, written script and such. Like, well, fans thought that Man of Steel actor had a lot on his plate in the DCU, and that's why he had to quit. But then we find out differently. It was revealed that Cavill had had a fallout with The Witcher showrunner Lauren S. Hissrich over creative differences. Now, if Lauren was doing her due diligence and an actual half semi decent job as a showrunner and tried to follow the source material, one, this wouldn't have happened. But two, if Henry was not a complete, utter nutbag of a fan of The Witcher, then you might actually have something to stand on in that scenario. But that would be the weirdest scenario ever because it would never happen. And in this case, it's the complete opposite. But as Cavill feared, The Witcher Season 3 deviates significantly from the source novels, which is exactly what the fans and the Enola Holmes actor clearly did not like. I do like in this one paragraph we have the Man of Steel actor and the Enola Holmes actor. I was like, you mean Cavill? Just say Cavill. Like, we get he's been in other things. But with Season 3, and here we go, the Man from Uncle actor prophesied. It's like, gosh, we get it. He's from lots of things. It is the people in every Cavill fear. The Witcher Season 3 will not be what we want, which shows you that it's a pretty biased thing, but it's fandomwire.com. I'm assuming if you're a fan of something, you can write stuff. I'm guessing it's not quite probably as free reign as like a wiki page or a fandom.wiki or something. Um, but back when the tensions were high, Cavill had alleged that the showrunner of the series, Lawrence Hissrich, man, why is her name so hard to say all of a sudden? Probably not worth saying. Had no respect for the original novels. As she twisted the tale, however, she saw fit. Accurate statement. This was further proven true when the visual effects supervisor of The Witcher sat down for a chat with Screen Rant, stating that they had a very big task at hand. The supervisor, Sebastian Francoeur, and producer Graham Marshall let it slip that they are working on things never heard or seen before in The Witcher lore. I don't like that. That's material you make a whole nother series with. That's not what you do with a series that's already established. And the actual phrase, I believe, is I don't think it's anything that anyone's read or seen before in Witcher lore, so I think it's going to be exciting. I'm like, why would I be excited for it? Why? No reason whatsoever. I have no reason to be excited for it because it's not The Witcher. I came to watch The Witcher. You came to watch The Witcher. That's why people watch The Witcher. They came to watch The Witcher. And what are they going to get? Something that's not The Witcher. There's a problem with that. This wasn't everything, so the producer of Witcher tried to defend their decision by comparing the Netflix series with that of the HBO show The Last of Us. That's not a very good comparison, at least not in the way you think it is. Um, yeah. Since both critically acclaimed series are based on games, there's bound to be a comparison, right? The producer of The Witcher defended the series' deviation by stating that they had a lot of creative freedom to try and explore different stories. It's The Witcher show. The only story you're following is The Witcher. Like, that's why it's called The Witcher. It's not called The Yennefer Show. It's not called, I mean, it could be, and I'd be okay with it. The Triss Show. Actual Trish, not their show Triss. No offense to her, but that's not Triss. Um, it's different from watching a show like The Last of Us, in which the first episode is the beginning of the video game, whereas with this, I think there's a lot of creative license to say similar and true to certain parts and enable them to explore different parts as well. But here's the thing. You could have started at the beginning. You didn't. Like, we don't need, this is how witchers are created. Here's the concoctions, the trial of grasses. Like, we don't have to go through all that. We don't have to see Geralt as he's a young child being thrown in with a bunch of boys into the trials and how the two of them come out of it. We don't need to see all that stuff. That could have been flashbacks. That could have been a prequel series if you were going to go that desperate for it. But there's nothing in there to make it worth doing. You could have initially just started out the show with Geralt at the beginning of the two first books, which are both like short stories, and you could have easily had really good content. Easily. I like the first two books. I didn't really care for the rest of the books afterwards. The story got too separated from The Witcher. I like Ciri. I love Triss, especially in the games. I can't really stand Yennefer, mostly because she's a petulant child. But I would still prefer Yennefer from the books to this Yennefer. Um, but comparing it to The Last of Us, which the first game, from what I understand, before the DLC, was really good. I even own it because I got it with my PlayStation 4 that I got. And haven't even played it yet. Mostly because I don't really know if I want to play it because I already know that The Last of Us 2 was a dumpster fire, to put it lightly and cleanly. But they're like, oh, well, they got to start from the beginning. Well, you could have. You just didn't start from the beginning. So comparing yourself to another video game adaptation, from what I understand, it's missing like everything from from the games in the show. So I'm not really sure how it's really an adaptation of it, but okay. Um, so season 3, Henry Cavill is going to play Geralt of Rivia again, but it's the last time he's going to do so. And Liam Hemsworth will be the new lead replacement of Cavill in season 4 onwards. Doubtful it will be onwards. Season 3 is going to bomb, and they're going to be like, well, on second thought, we're going to cut this. We're going to cut Blood Origins. We're going to cut all of it. Like, just scrap it. There's no continuity. There's no consistency. There's absolutely nothing. And The Witcher season 1 and 2 are currently on Netflix. Shocker, I know. But I did like Visarg Akaria. Actually do like it. It's he's a pretty decent, you know, article writer. Um, Nothing super crazy long, but Netflix done just messed this up. Like they had a gold mine, and they had a person primed and passionate about it, and they could have made wonderful things with the Witcher series. And instead, they went the route of pain, as Saruman would say. And I'm really, really hoping that Henry Cavill keeps an iron fist locked down on the 40K Warhammer universe, and he does it justice. I don't know much about it, but I know he's a big fan, and he's passionate about it. He's passionate about Superman. He's passionate about The Witcher, and he's passionate about 40K. So if he gets to keep it where he wants to, and then basically just make Amazon fund him, then he can pretty much do amazing stuff. And I'm looking forward to it because I kind of like that kind of darker universe with a bit more grit and nittiness to it. Um, I really like Henry Cavill. It's like currently he's probably my favorite actor at the moment, and I like Timothy Olyphant. I like um, Ryan Reynolds. I like a couple of different ones, but Henry Cavill is where it's at for me at the moment. Mostly because I can relate to him as a gamer. I can relate to him as a passion fan for series. I mean, Wheel of Time's one of my big passions. Lord of the Rings and well, any of the Tolkien works are a big passion of mine. And I like The Witcher a lot. I like the lore. I like the games. I prefer the third one because it's a better style. But I don't really care for all the other stuff they did. Like Blood Origins is pointless and stupid, and I don't want non Witcher based stuff in a Witcher universe. And that's where I can see Henry Cavill being majorly disappointed with what went down because he found a dream job and he took a massive pay cut to take this role. So not only is he losing money, like he's hemorrhaging money for this, for what his value is. They're profiting off of him, which is absurd to the nth degree, and they're just demolishing his character that he himself is a massive fan of. So I hope Henry Cavill gets some justice through 40K Warhammer. We get an epic series that will show us essentially what could happen if you truly adapt a series. I mean, if it's based off of the video games, graphic novels, or just the tabletop in general, just taking the lore from any of the books or something, whatever he decides to go with it, it'll be interesting to see just because it's Henry Cavill and he is passionate about it. And as far as I'm aware, he's going to produce it, like executive produce it, direct it, all that stuff, and hopefully also be in it. So that's going to be fun. So I hope he gets what uh, he should have had from The Witcher in this as well. So I'm looking forward to that. But what do you guys think? Do you like Henry Cavill? I don't really know anybody who doesn't, but do you like him, not like him, whatever? Please like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment stating your opinion about Henry Cavill, whether you support him in his new ventures, his old ventures, any ventures of his. if you think Lauren Hissrich is going to be able to pull this off, or if she isn't. But whatever you think might happen, let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe if you aren't already. Follow us on Twitter. Um, however you guys would like to follow us or whatnot. And we'd love your support and just sharing the content with anyone and everyone. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll talk again next time. Walk in the light, my friend.